What was your childhood like?
Well, I grew up in a small town that also had a college. So sometimes the population expanded when school was on. I went to a Catholic grade school and high school, but it was pretty far away, so I didn't really go to school with the kids that were in my neighborhood.
Who has been the biggest influence on your life, and what lessons did that person teach you?
Well, my parents were a huge influence on my life, and they really taught me commitment and love. But I had two teachers that were really, really difficult teachers, but fair. And I had one, Mrs. Lott, in 6th and 7th grade, and then I had Sister Eustacia in high school. And they taught me the value of how to study, and I was a good student, but it didn't come easy. I had to work at it. It wasn't like I could go in and take a test without studying like some of the more bright kids can. But I learned how to work hard. Mm-hmm. And then of course my husband is a huge influence on me. He's my best friend, and he's really taught me what it's like to be loved and cherished. And so what more can a person ask for? I have 5 children, a wonderful husband, 5 children, 14 grandchildren. Life is good.
How would you like to be remembered?
Well, I guess I would like to be remembered as someone who cared, and someone who loved without qualifications. And I'd like to be remembered that I was fun.
Do you remember any of the stories that your favorite relatives used to tell you, or just any relative?
Okay. I have great stories from my dad, because he was born in 1910, so he was young during the Depression. And when he was 7 years old, he was walking home in a small town, and he looked in the ditch, and there was a dead man who'd had his throat slit, because this was kind of an area where the mafia would come down to. And he ran as fast as he could home, and as he passed people that were going the other direction, he just yelled, "Dead man in a ditch, dead man in a ditch." So he got home and he told my grandparents, his parents, what had happened. And my grandpa, and I mean, you're thinking, now this is in 1917, he offered him $20 if he'd walk by that same spot at night. My dad said no way. He was not going back. But they had a lot of responsibility as little kids. My grandpa worked in the coal mine, and when he was 6 and 7, he would walk along the railroad tracks, and they would, with a wagon, and they would pick up coal and put it in the wagon that had fallen off of the cars, and then they would collect all that and take it home to burn. And so he had a lot of responsibility.
How would you like to be remembered?
Well, I guess I would like to be remembered as someone who cared, and someone who loved without qualifications. And I'd like to be remembered that I was fun, I hope.